And so, like, I would listen to it, like, I like it, but not right now, man. And I'd go on to, like, something more melodic or something more skate punky or maybe it's reggae or something or fucking who knows what, right?
Right.
And when I was looking through the list of albums whatever week ago or whatever, I was like, man, what have I not really gotten into that I want to? And I was like, dude. All right. I don't know what month or day, but somewhere in 1990, Poison Idea dropped Feel the Darkness. Let's see. It says it was a joint release between Vinyl Solution and the band's own American Leather Records. That's kind of cool that they did like a co-release with another label.
Yeah.
That's how things are done a lot now. So, but this album came out. It was 14 songs, I think. Maybe 13 on LP, 14 on CD, and it was somewhere around 40 minutes in length. Okay, so here's the deal, man. I've always liked Poison Idea, but I've liked the idea of Poison Idea and the songs that I've heard, but I don't know that I've ever really sat down and given like entire albums a listen.
Yeah.
Because they did a lot of EP work, they were on some comps, but they were always one of those bands that, like, when I heard them, I wasn't in the mood for that kind of music, if that makes any sense. And so, like, I would listen to it, like, I like it, but not right now, man. And I'd go on to, like, something more melodic or something more skate punky or maybe it's reggae or something or fucking who knows what, right?
Right.
And when I was looking through the list of albums whatever week ago or whatever, I was like, man, what have I not really gotten into that I want to? And I was like, dude, that Poison Idea record came out in 1990. Let's check that out. So 35 years ago, we get this album that I feel like I shortchanged myself. Do I feel like I should have listened to this album 1,000 times by now, dude? Like, you were gushing over it earlier, and I was having to make myself not talk about it so we could have talking points on the video. Well, because I almost agreed with you on everything, dude. Like, it's incredible. Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Let me pull up some notes that I wrote down. After this, I'm doing a Deep Cuts episode. I did Thin Lizzy, 99 Bottles, Short Leash, and Lagwagon's like later material. Oh, it's going to be a video. I'll tell you what. Anyways, not older, more modern, excuse me. This is what I wrote down when I was listening to Poison Idea at like I was in like a parking lot and I was getting ready to go inside a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to probably 7 songs before I got out of my car. You ever do that?
All the time.
Yeah. So I was sitting there and I wrote down, if you take the melodic nature of Bad Religion, the politics of Dead Kennedy, the guitar work and drums of early thrash bands, a dash of early agnostic front style hardcore, and a spoonful of UK 82, you mix it all together, you get this fucking Poison Idea record. It's wild. They literally have every style of punk and hardcore within a single album. What the fuck? That's what I wrote down. What's up, guys? So we just partnered up with Dead and Buried Inc. out of LA. So if you have a band or a small business, maybe an event coming up, and you need merch, hit these dudes up. There's a link in the description. If you mention that you got there via the Punk Rock Review, you'll get 10% off of your first order. But it's super high quality screen printing, embroidery. They do shirts, hats, hoodies, skateboards, bags, whatever you want printed, they can handle it, all right? They're also a small business, and they're part of the punk rock community. They're my friends. So this is a partnership that's very important to me. If you need merch, hit these dudes up. Check them out. You won't be disappointed, all right? Back to the video. And I stand behind that, dude. I listened to it like 4 times, dude. It's so good. Like, I'm pretty flabbergasted at how much I like it because I honestly thought I don't know why people always put them in the same category as like Negative Approach because they don't sound anything like Negative Approach to me.
Well, you know, it's like American hardcore. It's just like a later wave of it, you know? I think Poison Idea has been around since 1980.
They've been around a long ass time.
Well, they've been through. In fact, you know, in the movie I watched with them, they've been through a ridiculous number of lineup changes. And at some point, the vocalist Jerry Lang is like standing there with a pointer thing, and he's the vocalist of the band.
Yeah.
And you know, there's like dates. It's like 1980, then 1990, then 2000, and then 2010. He's like, somewhere around here. We had to stop making music for drugs, so we got clean.
Wow,
like, that band was probably one of the most like violent, and not because they were like mean guys, but because they were just like nihilistic and did not give a fuck. Like he would like blow fire and like throw M80s out on stage and stuff like that.
Well, I'm gonna have to do like
they have
real
a reputation for being one of the heaviest hardcore bands.
So I'm gonna have to do like a deep dive in this band for a number of reasons, right? When I was first getting into hardcore, like if you ever get to watch the Top Texas Bands video I just dropped,
yeah,
in that video I talk about a band called Pride Kills. I was very, very good friends with those guys, and whenever I got into their music, a lot of what they were telling me was like, I was like, so who do you listening to? What are you liking? And he's like, dude, you ever heard Poison Idea? That's where I first heard them. Was like in 2003, maybe. It was probably 2003 when I first heard Poison Idea, and like, so I know I liked them. I just never gave them like a really solid deep dive listen. I have at least one of their albums in my collection. I've listened to it, but I haven't sat down and been like, all right, I'm going to listen to this for the purpose of like reviewing it, because I listen to music different when I do that. I pay way more attention when I'm doing this. So like, man, it was incredible. Like there's a couple of things that you said I disagree with, but like overall, the sentiment that you had with this record is pretty spot on. Like the fucking guitar work in this record was crazy. Now, I will say this. I don't even consider this really like a hardcore record. Like, to me, it's a crossover record, which is technically hardcore still. Like, I get it. But if I was going to classify this as like, where do I rank this amongst like my favorite or the best hardcore records? It just doesn't have the sonic sounds that I want to hear when I'm looking for a hardcore record. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not a hardcore record. I know I just said it's a crossover, but that kind of still means hardcore. But like, I feel like this pairs more with DRI than it does like Minor Threat. And like
it's hardcore punk. I mean, I would call it hardcore punk.
Oh, it's definitely like more metal than it is punk to me. But
it's a punk record.
This is what we're talking about though, but I don't agree with that. I think it's more of a metal record than it is a punk record. But it's a crossover record. That's my whole point, is that it's got so much metal in it, but I don't like metal, right? But when I want some metal, I will just take this. Dude, there's tons of metal in this record, bro.
I think so, yeah, but like the riffing is punk.
Some of it's metal. Dude, bro, there's so much thrash in this album. It's unreal, dude. I heard fucking Exodus, early Metallica, all throughout.
There's a lot of thrash influences. Yeah, I think what I hear here on this record is like, I don't know.
Punk doesn't typically have a bunch of double bass, dude. It's all over this record, bro.
There's a lot of double bass on the record. You're right. Black Flag is an obvious influence on this band. I hear
for sure. Hey, look, I want to be really clear about anybody who's watching this getting all angry right now. I love this record, bro. It's not shit talking. This is awesome. My whole point is that when I want some metal, I think I'm just going to go to this kind of record instead, because I'd rather listen to this anyways. Yeah. It gives me my punk a little bit, and then I get all the stuff I wanted out of a metal record.
What I love the most about this band in general, not just this record, is like it's just like seething with like visceral fucking hate, and you can just like hear it oozing out of the speakers. Like his voice is like so sardonic and anguished, and it's like they're not trying hard, you know, it's just coming out. So these other bands that came along the way, yeah, sure, there's been a lot of great hardcore that's happened, but these guys are the real deal. This is like the cream of the fucking crop, you know. This is like the sound that I think other bands aspire to that quite often fall short, you know.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
There's like an authenticity to their music, and there's an immediacy to it that it just fires you up. It just gets you angry from the jump. It makes you want to fucking light something on fire, fuck some shit up, quit your job, skateboard, whatever. Take some action.
It does make you feel kind of like that. I will say this though. I want to know. Actually, I could just look that up right now. So the fucking production on this record is crazy, dude. 1990, like super underground, like punk rock shit. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. You call it whatever you want. Metal, punk, whatever. Crossover, right? Okay, hard, whatever you want to call it. It's underground music though. And for this to sound this good is wild, dude. Like it is crazy how good this sounds. And I listened to it on Spotify. I am going to buy a copy of this on CD, and I'm going to listen to it on my new CD player with my fucking badass speakers. I'm gonna turn it up really fucking loud.
Those nice headphones too. So I mean that.
I got quality equipment. So I'm going to get this on CD though. I want to have it on a good. I hope it's a good quality CD. I guess it could be shitty, but if I don't like it on CD, I'll just buy it on vinyl. But I prefer it on CD right now. But dude, what the shit? This is crazy good, man. I really, really, really I don't even care that I just got into this stuff, man. I've always liked them, but I don't care that I'm just now getting to where I'm liking them this much because this is fun for me, man. I'm having a blast. I rarely get into a band like this. The Vibrators did it to me. The second Clash album made me feel like this. This album's making me feel like this. I feel like I just like I people give me shit all the time for only liking 90s stuff. I don't even argue that. I know that's what I like, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like breaking out of my comfort zone and out of my bubble, and it's fucking awesome. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. Even listening to that back. Do you hear my dog snort just now?
I didn't hear that. No. It's got a chunky snore too.
Bro. So loud. Oh my goodness. Anyway, sorry. It was so loud it just completely cut off my sentence. But like, you know, even that Bad Religion record, like I'm having fun listening to it because I really honestly I thought I was gonna really, really like it. That's why I picked it. I was like, you know what, dude, I haven't heard Bad Religion in a while.
Yeah.
That's a good one to pick. And I picked it thinking I should have flip-flopped them. Had I listened to the Bad Religion record first, I think I would have had a lot more positive stuff to say about it.
Right.
But I didn't. I listened to it after I listened to this, and this one was so good that it blew me away.
It's hard to follow it up, you know. It's like
It really is.
The Poison Idea record is just so much more. I don't know. I don't want to use the word. You know.
Well, they're very different, dude. Lyrically, totally
different record. So it's like a different style of music, but it's like just the energy, the way it's captured, the vocal styles, just the entire production is just so different than the
well, I mean, look, dude, honestly, you really can't get more yin and yang than Bad Religion and Poison Idea. Like, they have a couple of sonic similarities, like I said when I was describing them earlier. That's where it stops, bro. After that, it is very different music. So, you know, not that you can't like or even love both of them. That's not what I'm saying, but they're very different.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to spend some time with this record. I think I'm going to probably listen to it quite a bit.
This album's ridiculous. There's just like jam.
I'm going to go buy a copy right now while we're talking.
Deep Sleep is a great song. Just to Get Away, actually, I heard that song for the first time on an Epitaph comp.
That's cool.
I don't know. They weren't even on Epitaph, but for some reason that song was on that comp.
Dude, they used to do that back in the day. See, I have the Pick Your King EP I've heard a million times, but I don't know that I've listened to it the way I should because I don't remember it putting me up. I don't remember like it flooring me like this record did.
They have so much material. They're 80s.
They do.
One album I would suggest checking out by them is War All the Time. That came out like 1987.
You want to see something hilarious or hear something hilarious?
Record.
I went to Discogs to go buy a copy of this right now, and when I clicked on it, it's already on my watch list. When did that even happen? That tells me a lot right there that at some point I heard this and was like, oh, I need to grab that. And I put it on my watch list and I just never pulled the trigger on buying it.
Yeah, this is like an essential record for all hardcore punk lovers collections.
Dude, what if I go, hold on, let me check my collection, make sure I don't have it already. What the fuck? Bro, that shit wouldn't even surprise me.
Go to the store and sell it, you know?
No, I've got latest Will and Testament. I need to throw this on later tonight too.
Oh, yeah, that's later.
Yeah, this is much more modern. Check this out though; it's cool as shit looking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the clear CD.
Yeah.
So
I love stuff like that. I have not to like change subjects, but my favorite hardcore record I actually have. Hold on, I'll show you. It's what is your favorite hardcore record?
My favorite hardcore record? That's hard to I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Really?
Yeah. I like music for different reasons. Right? So it's hard for me to have a favorite anything.
That's weird to me.
Why is that weird?
Because I don't think like that. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I've got like favorite albums, you know, for sure. But like hardcore records, it's really difficult for me to just think of that right now. But
sorry, 1 second.
You're good.
Damn it, where the fuck is it?
I'm kind of curious to see like what you think hardcore actually is in terms of, you know, like if you're calling this a crossover record, I want to know what you think is a hardcore record, I guess.
My favorite hardcore record is Lowest of the Low.
Lowest of the low. Oh, Terror.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got this badass copy of it somewhere around here. It's in here somewhere. It's this cool ass like promo copy, but it looks like that. It's got the plastic around it. That Scott Vogel gave me when it first came out. He like gave it to me at a show in Houston. He's super cool, man. I like Scott Vogel a lot. But yeah, Terror Lowest of the Low is my favorite hardcore record. Like when you start adding too much metal to hardcore, I stop liking it as much because I really just don't care for metal much. But
isn't this EP that you like, the Lowest of the Low? Isn't it pretty metallic though?
I don't think so. I don't think that they got metallic until after One for the Underdogs. Really, they were heavy. That record is fast and punk as fuck, dude. It's so.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's so fast, bro. It's so fast. It's like 9 or 10 songs. It might be like 15, 20 minutes, bro. It's so fast. I love it. And like, I remember going to those shows back then too. And I associated a lot of my early hardcore stuff with that album because that's when I really got into hardcore. It's like 2003, 2004. And I always was more into the faster punk style stuff. The beatdown stuff, like I tried to like it a lot, but it just really wasn't for me, man. Those guys didn't have the same like stuff going on. Like they were cool. Like I have a lot of friends from that scene, but like
not my thing.
Yeah, me either, really. So like, and then it just gets more and more metallic, and I'm just not into metal. I don't even like think there's anything wrong with metal. It's just not for me. I don't care for it.
There's this really cooler newer band from New York, and they kind of do a good classic metallic crossover punk.
Agnostic Front?
No. Mind Force.
I think I've heard Mind Force. I like Mind Force.
Like upstate New York.
Yeah.
They have a very I don't know, it's cool. Like the way they do it to me is cool because it's not metal. Like the vocals are very like hardcore, kind of sounding like old school New York hardcore. But they have the whole like
Slayer stuff.
Yeah, but then they go into like the faster like
they're okay. I don't like. Yeah, I just lean so much more into the punk rock side of hardcore, but it's okay, man. Like I like that bands like Knock Loose exist because kids love that shit. They go out there, and I want kids to go to shows and be in bands and make zines and print shirts and do vinyl. So if that's what needs to happen for them to do that, good. Keep on doing it, man. Scowl needs to exist. Knock Loose needs to exist, and I don't have to like everything.
Yeah, right. No, I completely agree with you. The kids from
I'm getting more okay with like being like a little bit more of like an elder statesman. Like I'm understanding like the way the shit works better now, and I don't have as many things bother me as I used to. I didn't like get bothered by it, but I used to be like, Knock Loose is just metal, which I still believe, but I just don't care anymore. Like, don't give a shit.
Yeah. These like spaces, like all these punk shows are at, hardcore shows are at, they're all run by kids. DIY stuff is all
wild. It's because we're old now.
Yeah, that's because we're the old heads, and that's just how it goes. So we get invited to play these shows, and it's put on by kids, and they're super efficient. Like they know how to get it done. They can put together a bill. They can find a venue. They can get the gear, and they can set up the merch. They're like super resourceful, and I give it up to them for that. But
yeah, but we were too. That's the thing is that
yeah,
we were too.
They just picked up the torch, and started going with it. But yeah, this record's dope as fuck, man.
What are your favorite tracks off this album?
Wow. Okay. Favorite tracks off of this record. Poison Idea.
Here, I'll go first because I got a few.
Okay.
Plastic Bomb, Gone for Good, Taken by Surprise. The Badge was pretty good. Painkiller is really good. The title track's pretty good. It's overall it's a fantastic record though. So like I would say like the Plastic Bomb, Gone for Good, and Taken by Surprise were the three that I marked down and was like, make sure you bring these up. Like so those are the ones I think are probably my favorite by what margin? Not a pretty slim one because I like the whole record. So
right, the whole thing is really good. Actually, Pantera covered one of these songs for the Crow soundtrack.
That's crazy.
Did you know that?
No, like the recent Crow?
No, like the old one from like the 90s.
Oh, really?
They covered a Poison Idea song for the Crow soundtrack.
What?
Yeah.
That's so weird. You think Poison Idea is like cool? That's awesome. Or are they like, ugh? In
the documentary, they thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry was like, hey, we fucking got on the Crow soundtrack. I mean, it's like an accolade for us, I guess.
That's pretty wild.
Brand,
I mean, I would never turn that away because I want more people to hear my music. I wouldn't care. Like, yeah, I mean, the way I look at things is pretty strange. I understand that. But I'd have been like, what's happening? Oh, Pantera's covering one of my songs? Cool. As long as he does it word for word and doesn't throw any weird shit in there, I'm good. Like,
yeah, pretty sure word for word, but just in their style, like Pantera style.
I mean, look, dude, I hate that I can't be a big Pantera fan, but it is what it is.
I think Pantera was one of those bands when I was younger with like all the stoner skater kids, like, like you got into some of it. I liked Far Beyond Driven and 101 Proof. I had that on tape. That was the live record.
Oh, yeah. Bro, look, man, I used to have Far Beyond Driven. I used to have Great Southern Trendkill, and I used to have Cowboys from Hell. And I'm from Texas, bro. Like, there's kind of like a
Texas.
Do what?
They're fucking huge in Texas, obviously.
Oh, bro, they're like they may as well be fucking. Yeah, they are the metal band. If you're in Texas, like nobody gives a shit about any other band besides Pantera down here. It's weird. Or that's the way it used to be. I don't know what it is now. I don't know. They met like Ronnie Racky or something now. I don't fucking know. But
it's funny.
It's weird, dude. Like, yeah, that band. But like my brother went on tour as like security for those guys, so I have like a weird connection to them. So like when Dimebag got killed, it really fucked me up. Yeah. Like I was really depressed. But Phil's always been a fuck up. I know people that know him, and like I don't think that he's necessarily a bad guy, but he is definitely an edgelord. And it's like, well, I don't like that either. So, he's just kind of like this country bro type guy. And those guys tend to have ideas, opinions, and shit that I don't really align with. So
yeah, he said some shit, but they had some riffs, they had some songs.
They had some hard ass riffs, bro. I used to definitely like, hey, look, dude, back in the day, like in like early 2000s,
yeah,
all Texas hardcore bands would cover like Pantera riffs. Like they wouldn't do the whole song necessarily, but you'd be like, you'd get out there and they would like open with like a Pantera riff. Motherfuckers would go ape shit, dude. It was awesome, bro. That band Pride Kills used to open up with DMX. It was wild because they would sing
or DMX,
huh?
Like the rapper DMX.
Yeah.
What do you mean open up with like what do they do?
Like they would cover a DMX song.
That's fucking hilarious.
I just love when I bring this whole crew. And I was like, what is happening right now? People lost their fucking minds to that shit, dude. I saw a lot of people run out the door with bloody noses and like, like
fucking hilarious.
Man, dude, bro. I don't like, yeah, man, whatever. This shit fucking album makes me want to go listen to more hardcore. That's what it does.
I like pretty much every song on this record. So
I mean, I like all the songs, but like the 3 or 4 that I really like are the ones I mentioned.
Deep Sleep, Just to Get Away, Gone for Good, Taken by Surprise, Welcome to Krell.
Yeah, Gone for Good and Taken by Surprise. We agree on those. Dude, the first song is awesome. The vocals he does in that song, it's very unique to that song. It's weird. It's like this weird, like haunting, like almost like what, like medieval haunting melodic weird sound. I don't understand it. It's a very Man-O-War-esque, but it's like plopped in the middle of this fucking opening track of a hardcore.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a weird melody though. Like it's not your typical like whoa. It's like oh.
Definitely, we're influenced by a lot of like the Scandinavian crust stuff from Sweden and Norway and stuff like that.
That's crazy, bro.
And I hear it all up in their music. D-beat. It's pretty much American D-beat to me.
It's got a lot of that in there for sure.
It's crusty fucking D-beat style stuff.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say that I give this record a straight up 9.5, dude. Like it, very little room for improvement. Very little room for improvement.
There's a couple of things on this record. Like there's a blues song on here that just comes out of nowhere.
Well, like I said, very little, but there is room for improvement.
I think that's just them fucking with us. Poison Idea could write a banger of a record front to back if they wanted to. They've proven that with their other material. If you go back and listen to their stuff from the 80s.
Well, there's like 2 songs off this record that I didn't really love, and I can't even tell you what the titles of them are because I didn't pay that much attention. But I remember being like, take it or leave it. That one you're talking about is one I was like, what is this? But dude, you ever had that? That is weird though when you're like really balls deep in an album and then they throw like a curveball and you're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I picked up my phone and was like, what am I listening to? Oh, it's still Poison Idea.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a band I'd love to see live. On it, I don't. But they're
Maybe 20 years ago, but not now.
they don't exist anymore. Yeah, it's a shame. Like two of the members are dead, and I think the singer got sober, and like they were all junkies. They were
A
all
lot of those old hardcore band guys, like I don't want to throw shade, but I'm gonna anyways. The singer for Verbal Abuse, man. My friend played in that band for a while,
they
and
live here now in the Bay Area. They practice where I practice.
well, that guy's well, look, from my understanding, he did some real shitty stuff. So I'll put it like that. Um, but my point was that a lot of those old hardcore guys that were into this kind of hardcore, because there's a difference between this and like Madball. Like it just isn't the same kind of music.
Yeah,
Like
it's different.
H2O and fucking those kind of bands, they don't sound like this, and they're still hardcore bands.
Yeah,
But yeah, hardcore is just like punk. There's a lot of it, a lot of different kinds.
but yeah, the guys in this band, Poison Idea, like from what I saw in the documentary, like they would handle shit. Like they would help with them. They would fight and they'd fucking
yeah. I've heard a little bit of stuff like that, but I'm not surprised. I mean, listen to the songs, dude. Like those guys are scared of you. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
yeah, I know exactly.
right.
But it's just like the like stories I heard. I'm just like, you guys are fucking gnarly, like skinheads and just spitting in their faces, and the guy throwing M80s off the stage and blowing up the sound guy, and
that's crazy.
One of their friends like lost a finger because he threw an M80 out, and then one time he tried to like there's a picture of Poison Idea, like a famous picture of him like blowing fire out of his mouth. Have you seen this? So he's at a show, and I guess he's doing like party tricks at the show because his whole thing was like he's like a showman,
Yeah.
He would like blow fucking like fire out of his mouth and shit like that into the crowd, like he was a fucking circus act. And like one time he put gasoline in his mouth, and I think his like gums receded and blew up in his face, and like he almost. So these guys were fucking idiots, They're just like they didn't give a fuck. They just were the
that's
most
crazy
fucking fat slobs ever.
Dude, I love it, man. This was a really good time listening to this album.
Yeah. I mean, this one. You asked me like my favorite hardcore record. This would probably rank if among them. If there was 3 or 5, I'm gonna put this on that list.
This is definitely like I've only heard it probably 3 or 4 times now in its entirety, so I can't say that it would be that high on my list. But I wouldn't be at all shocked if like later down the road I was like, okay, it's made it to my list because it's good enough to where I know that it would be a top record, like regardless. Like I know it would be because it's just good, man. It's a really, really good record. So let's see.
Yeah. Just the name of their songs. I mean, their albums. Get Loaded and Fuck.
That's crazy.
This is one of their album titles. And then they have one called Ian McKay. Have you seen that album cover?
No.
So they got an album called Ian McKay, and it's like some guy bending over and opening up his asshole, his butthole, on the album cover. Like these guys were fucking hilarious, dude. Like,
so what's their beef with? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, you see that album cover?
That's that's a hairy butthole. Wow.
It's like they don't make them like they used to, That's a punk band,
dude. That's gnarly, bro. Straight ball sack and everything. That's crazy.
They didn't give a fuck.
They're like, hey man, can you show us your butthole and balls? The guy's like, no problem. What do I get out of it? They're like, nothing. He's like, sure, okay.
Album cover.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness, that's wild.
Yeah,
dude. Poor Ian McKay. What did he do? Well, Ron Fugazi. Thanks for that shit.
Yeah.
So, all right.
That's all I got to say about Poison Idea.
Yeah, dude, they're rad. That's all I got to say about it too. So I'm gonna call this finished. And then a couple of things before we go. I'm gonna figure out a couple of albums for us to do next time. I already have one in mind. So okay, on this top 10 Texas bands list that I did, I mentioned the Dicks, right? And so some guys like, I was very respectful when I talked about them. And then this guy's like, Gary Floyd was an extremely talented and powerful vocalist, but just wasn't your cup of tea. His other band, Sister Double Happiness, really showcased his voice even more. I fucking hate when people come to me with shit like that when it's like, dude, I didn't say anything rude or wrong. So then I put, I mean, did I say otherwise? Although extremely talented and powerful vocalist is a very subjective statement, but I don't think I said anything wrong or rude. I mean, one could also say he wasn't a good vocalist at all, but you like what you like. And I was like, that's not what I said though, was it? Like, I'm so tired of people acting like I said something rude when I didn't.
Right.
I'm just gonna start saying rude shit, man. Look, stop getting all offended by me saying that his vocals weren't my thing and pointing out that I said exactly what I did say. Like, fucking soft ass people, bro.
I don't know why they. Yeah, I don't understand it. I really couldn't tell you why people act this way.
Because people are really defensive about things that they love, and I understand that, but like, good grief, dude, like, chill, bro, chill.
Yeah. I think it's more of like an approach thing, right? Like when everyone started coming down on you about like the Husker Du stuff, I'm like, like there's a way to approach this conversation that doesn't, Did I appreciate everyone coming to my rescue about Husker Du? Of course, But did they need to be like, hey man, you're not punk, and I'm telling everyone.
It was really strange. I was just like, all right, whatever, man.
Dude, like that's not fucking.
People were really weird about that stuff too.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got an idea for.
We'll talk about.
You like J Church, don't you?
I do. I love that band. They're great.
Okay, let's do our next one on lower class brats. Rather be hated than ignored. And J Church, One Mississippi. They both come out 25 years ago.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's do those albums. I'm down with
Hell yeah, son. Let's see here. I gotta figure out where I put my notes for Rob's podcast next because I can't find them. I do this shit all the time where I can't find my my notes that I had. Let's see. I'm fixing to start working on a Rancid 2000 video after I finally finish that Texas one.
Yeah.
My next big video is gonna be Rancid 2000. After that, I'm gonna do And Out Come the Wolves, and then after that, I'm doing Last Word Spoken. All three should be pretty good videos, I would think. I hope. I also have some deep cut stuff that I'm working on. Let's see. There's a bunch of good stuff that I've been getting because of the stream. I've been having a lot of fun on there. Let's see. Where's it at? All right, let's wrap up, and then I'll stay on here for just a minute. Nitty, you got a second?
Yeah, I do got a second. I'm sorry.
All right, cool. No worries. I just don't want to bore everybody. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us for this wonderful hour of punk rock music. I hope I didn't offend you too bad. I didn't really give a shit, actually. If I offended you, let me know in the comments. If I didn't, cool. Either way, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, buy a shirt, check out Dead and Buried Inc. Dead and Buried Inc. if you need merch for your band, all that stuff. So, yeah, have a great day. We'll see you on the next Punk Rock Review podcast. Peace.